In the last session, we started our discussion about what is stack. So we will shortly revise the theory and then immediately we'll start writing the program for stack implementation. So let's assume that you have a storage. Okay, so let's assume this is the storage, and we are going. You people are going to use it to keep some records. Now each record will be inserted in this storage. So let's say the record has been stored. So this is the first record. Now you store the second record on the top of the first record. Then you are going to store the next one, third record, on the top of the second record. So here I'm using one word called as top. On the top of the one record, to second is inserted. On the top of the second record, third record is inserted. So in the stack, there is one index called as a top, right? This top index always point to the last element or the element which is at the top of the storage. So if we consider this particular, let's say, column as in a storage unit, then inside this column, we are storing three records: record number 1, record number 2, and record number 3. And the top record, the last record, which is inserted on the stack, is 3, and it has been pointed with the index called as top. So stack is a kind of a structure. Stack is a data structure in which we can insert and remove element only from the top. So if you want to insert an element in the storage, and if the storage is a stack storage, then you can only insert the element, new element, only at the top. So right now my top is 3. So if I want to insert the new record, I will be able to store it only at the top, and the record will be 4. So you are inserting the record at the top of the stack. When you want to remove the record from the stack, from this particular storage, then again you have to remove this record from the top of the stack. So if we write down the step-by-step process, let's say these are the columns which are representing the status of the stack. These are the columns which will be representing the status of the stack. Let's say we will be able to represent few status. Let's say let's call this all columns with each stage. This is the stage number 1, stage number 2, stage number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can represent 8 stages. What will be the stage of a stack after particular operation? And let's say write down the operations. So I have some operation that I want to perform. So let's say I will call this operation as insert. Let's say I want to insert 1. So initially, as there is no element in the stack, and this is the first stage of the operation, the stack index generally will point to a negative value, or let's say it is pointing to null. There is nothing inside the stack. In the world of programming, we will pick a value using which we will try to keep the track of this index. So let's say in the programming, we are going to keep the value of this top as -1. Few programmers may even prefer to start this index with the value of 0. It depends on how you are going to insert inside the stack and how you're going to remove from the stack. So for the theoretical discussion, let's assume that this top is pointing to nothing, n. And each storage will have its own index. So when I say insert 1, or let's say we are inserting 11. So when we want to insert 11, the top right now is pointing to nothing. But as soon as we want to insert a record, the top must point to the first entity inside a stack. So here I'll be able to insert 11. So this is the first stage of the operation. Let's assume the next stage of the operation is I want to insert another record. Let's say insert 12. Now, in the second stage, there is already 11 in the stack. Now, as a second stage, you have to again increment the top by 1 and then insert the next element. Now, this is the after first insert, the first stage. After the second insert, this is the second stage. Let's say you inserted one more element, insert, let's say 13. Then we will call it as sorry, not here. This will be the third stage. So I should repeat it in that. This is the 11, this is the 12, and this is the 13. Now the value of the top, let's say t is pointing to top, must be 3 here. Here it must be 2, and here it must be 1. Now let's say you are saying remove. If I say remove the element, then you can't pass any element. Look here, what is the difference? When we are saying insert, we are passing the element that we want to insert. And when I'm saying remove, I'm just saying I want to remove. No need to specify which element to remove. Why? Because you can remove only from the top. So you can insert only at the top. You can insert only at the top. And you can also only remove from the top. So if I say remove, after removal, here it will be 11, here it will be 12, and 13 is been removed. So t will be pointing back to the 2. So this is how the top has been manipulated. You go on incrementing the top, you come on decrementing the top when you want to remove. In the case of stack, this insert and remove, what I'm saying, are actually called as, this insert is pronounced as push. So this is the operation of a stack. So whatever I am saying as insert is actually called as push. And this removing of the element is actually called as pop. So when I say pop, it means remove the element from the stack. And when I say push, it means insert the element inside a stack. So basically, three important aspects of a stack. One is it's a top element, let's say pointing to nothing initially. If you want to insert anything inside a stack, you will call a push method. And the thing that you want to insert, let's say I want to insert a record. So push record that you want to push inside a stack. And the third entity is pop. And you don't pass anything to it because it can remove element only from the top of the stack. So these are the three important perspectives or aspects of a stack. That top element or the top is the index of a stack. It points to the current top value, the element which is at the top inside a stack. If there is nothing inside a stack, it will point to nothing. Okay, empty. If you want to insert a record, you will call a method called as push and you will pass a record to it. If you want to remove a record from the stack, you will call the method called as pop. So is the concept of stack clear with the three methods? Two methods. One is a push, inserting inside a stack, and pop, removing from a stack, and then top to keep the index. Okay, so let me open up a chat window. If anybody have a doubt, please unmute yourself and you can ask it out. Else, I'll look at the chat if there are any doubts. What if we pass argument to pop? We are not supposed to pass argument to the pop. So it's like whether we want to do it or not. Okay, so in theory of stack says that the pop really do not accept any element. So it's abstract data type. Now we are coming back to the very first lecture of data structure. In the theory, what people have written is the pop method will not accept anything. So theory says that a push method should accept a record. What is record? I'm not specifying this is an integer, character, or a structure, or any other thing, or a file. So I'm just writing a theory that push will insert a record. And theory says that pop is not accepting what you want to remove. Pop will always remove the record which is pointed by top. Okay, so we are not supposed to pass any argument to the pop. Okay. So let me check the chat. There is no other question inside in the chat room. So if anyone have a doubt, please ask. Otherwise, I'll proceed with the implementation of this concept. Shall we proceed with the program implementation? Okay, so let's proceed with the program. Great, great. So what I'll do is, so what we will do is, in a programming aspect, I will create an array. So I will use array, and array size you could decide. Let's say I am creating array of size 4. So this array will have 4 storage locations inside it: the index 0, index 1, 2, and 3. Now I have theoretically 3 concepts. One is top, which will point to the present top element. And as right now the stack is empty, the top is an index, and we know that array index starts with the 0. Array index always starts with the 0, and it goes to the array size -1. Array size -1. This is what will be my maximum value of top. So what I can do is, as initially there is no element inside a stack, I will say that the top is my index of type integer, and I'll initialize it to -1. So whenever top is pointing to -1, it confirms to me that the stack is empty. It confirms to me that the stack is empty. Okay. Mr. Om Parth Chowgule, you are on unmute mode. I can hear some noise at your end. So if you have any doubt, please ask. Otherwise, mute yourself. Om Parth Chowgule, sorry. Roll number 67, SYC. Okay. Now, let's say I want to insert in the element inside a stack. So I will say push, and then I'll pass the number that I want to insert. Let's say I am saying number. So inside this push method, what I can do is, initially the top is pointing to -1. So if I want to insert anything inside the stack, let's say this array is declared as int stack and 4. This is the array declaration. And the top, int top, is equal to -1. This is how the index top is declared. So inside push method, I am passing the number that I want to insert. So what I have to do is, initially the top is pointing to -1. So top is pointing to -1, so it will not be able to insert anything inside a stack. So what I'll do is, as in the first thing, I'll say top plus plus. And then if I say stack of top is equal to number. Stack of top is equal to number. What it will do is, it will assign this number and it will store it into the location pointed by top. So as the I is initially -1, if I do top plus plus, obviously the top will point to 0. And then I'm saying stack of top is equal to number. Whatever number you are passing to this push method, let's say if I passed 11, the 11 will be stored inside a stack. So it will store 11. Let's say you're calling the push method again, and this time you passed 12 as an argument. So this number is keeping 12 as a value. So again, inside the push method, what is happening is top plus plus. So from 0, the top will start pointing to first index. So top will be 1. And then you are saying stack of top is equal to number. So number is pointing to value 12. So ultimately, you will be storing 12 in the stack. Is the working of push method clear? Is the working of push is clear? Great, great. Thank you. So similarly, what I'll do is, I'll if I want to remove element from the stack, so we have a pop method, and the pop method, it has to just say top minus minus, top minus minus. So if you execute top minus minus, what will happen is the index which is pointing to 1, if you do minus minus, it will start pointing to 0th level. So from first, it will point to 0. So if your top variable, if the top variable is no longer pointing to the first index, it is pointing to the 0th index, ultimately this value 12 is no longer accessible. Even if the value is still inside the array, you are not able to access that value. And what is the value of top? It is pointing to 0. That means currently the top of the stack is 11. Now after pop, let's say you have push. What is the sequence you are calling the operations like this? Push, you said 11, then you said push 12, and then you have called pop operation. So this is the current state of the array. There is a 11, there is a 12, but 12 is no longer accessible because top is the index and it is pointing to the 0th level. So 11 is accessible. Let's say you again called push. If you again called push and insert 13. So what will happen? Push 13. The number will point to the new value 13. Inside you are again saying top plus plus. So from 0, again the top will come to the first index. Now top is pointing to the first index. And then you are saying stack of top is equal to number. So this will overwrite this 12 and replace it with 13. Now simply it will replace it with the 13. Now the new value. Are you with me? Is the concept of the method calling is clear? Anyone have a doubt? Anyone have a doubt in the stack? Great. So what we will do is we'll start writing a very basic program with the help of the array, and then I'll create this push and pop as a menu options, and we will write the code inside the main method itself. And then as a next level implementation, we will implement push and pop as a methods rather than writing these things inside a main method. So as a starter code, as an introductory code, I will prefer to write this blocks of the code inside a switch case directly, as we have done it for the initial programs for addition subtraction methods. We earlier wrote the code inside the main method, and then we started to write functions and call the functions. So on the same basis, I'll first implement the stack program using the plain main method. After that, we will perform the push and pop operation using functions rather than writing them inside a main method. Okay, so let's go to the code blocks and let's start coding. Is the code blocks visible? Is the code blocks visible, guys? Okay. Thank you. Let's call it as stack 1. We are going to enhance this program, so I'm going to call it as a level 1 stack. So stack 1. Let's finish. Okay, so we have access to the main method. Okay. Now let's look at our theory discussion that we have just completed. What are the points that we have inside this? We have array called as stack, and we have an index called as top. So let's declare these things inside the program, So I'll have int top, and I'll initialize it to -1, and now I will say stack of size 5. Let's have I'm creating a stack with the size 5, so I'll be able to store 5 elements. So what I want to do is I want to perform some set of operations: push, and then pop, again push. So let's better way make it a menu-driven program, that I'll ask a menu to the user whether you want to perform a push operation or whether you want to perform a pop operation. So I'll create a menu of 3 options, asking user whether to insert using push, whether to remove from the pop using pop, or whether to exit. So let's form our style. Now, I'm sure that you will have a clear idea why we have done some basic programs with the menu options, right? So while one, now I'm sure uh, all members in this class are very aware of what I'm really doing, and you are able to read the code even before I complete it, right? So now our work is paying off, that I really do not need to explain what I'm really trying to do. So I'll say here, let's say select operation. And my first choice will be, let's say, push. The second choice will be the pop, and the third will be exit. Okay. Now we have to read this value. So let me create a variable, integer ch. Okay. And let's say switch ch. Now observe the coding style, how I'm writing the code. So I'm not worried about putting all the entities at a single time, or I'm not writing the code like I am writing the, like one person may write, I say like int top is equal to -1 semicolon, int stack 5 semicolon, while 1. So I have seen people who write programs like this, while 1, they will say opening bracket, and now it's code blocks is doing it. That's good. And then you will say int ch and then printf. No, try to complete the code. Whatever block you open, always try to complete that block. Okay, at least basic blocks of that. So if I see switch case, if I open it, so what I'll do is I'll at least create basic construct before going to the next step. Switch case 1. Okay. So now my basic construct of the case is switch case is ready. Now I know that I'm going to write 3 cases. So better I'll complete the basic block. What will happen is, because of this habit, like completing the box structure and then going and writing the code, you will avoid lot many errors like missing semicolon or missing some code construct. Now let's read the value for ch. Let's say %d and %h. So you will be reading a operation selection from the user. Now, if user selects the push operation, obviously we will ask user enter number to insert. Sorry, to push is the correct word. Push inside the stack. So I'll say /n. Okay. Now let's say scanf %d comma ampersand, and now we have to create a number. We have to create a number. So let's say I'll say number. Now I have to create this variable. I'll immediately declare the variable itself. So look at how I'm creating variable. I'm declaring a variable whenever I need it. I'm not declaring all the variables at the start of the program. So this is also a good style of programming. So whenever a programmer thinks that he need a variable, or the programmer have some requirement to store a value, then only the programmer start declaring the variables. We do not start declaring the variables at one go. So what happens is, you pinpointedly know the purpose of each and every variable which is declared in the program. I've seen people who have a lot of variables declared in the program at the start, and later, while writing the program, some variables go unused, and if the question is asked like what is the purpose of that variable, then many times people haven't used it, and there is no obviously use of that particular variable, so it creates a very bad impression, right? So declare, or you create a variable only when you need it. Now the next thing is, enter a number to push inside the stack. So what I can say, I have to plus, because initially the stack is pointing to -1. So before inserting anything, I will always say top plus, and then you know the operation stack of top is equal to insert the number. So that's what we have exactly done. Top plus stack of top, and assign the number. Okay. Now, after successful insertion, you can print the message /n. Let's say %d is pushed in stack. Okay, and let's say /n. Let's go to the next line. Okay, so my insertion code, basic insertion code is ready. Now, what if the user selects the pop that you want to remove the element? So what you will do is we have to do top minus minus. That will remove the element. That's it. But let's say we want to print a message that this element has been removed from the stack. So what we have to do is we have to first print the message before decrementing the index. If I decrement the index, then I won't be able to access the element which is at the top of the stack. So what I'll do is I'll say printf %d, let's say /n %d is removed or is popped from stack, and I'll say the stack of top. This will remove the element from the stack. Okay. Now this is a very basic code which is ready. Now let's check whether the basic code is working or not. Let's check. So I'll compile this. One error. What is the error? Label only warning from D function main unknown skip sequence /n. I've made a debacle somewhere. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Push in the stack, comma, number. Label can only be part of the statement, main in function. Okay, so it's not allowing me to declare here, I guess. So it's compiled. Let's run this. Now it's a very starter code. It will work for very basic operations. Let's try to insert. So push, let's say 11. 11 is pushed inside in the stack. Now let's push one more element. Let's say 12. 12 is pushed in the stack. Now we know that if we have inserted 11 and 12, if we inserted 11 and 12, for sure our stack will be looking like this. So let's say we have inserted, this is the stack, and we have inserted 11 and now 12. Now if this is the top, and if I say pop, this should remove 12 and then the index will point to 11. So okay, so what I'll do is in the execution I will call now pop operation 2. It should remove 11, sorry, 12, which is the top element in the stack. 12 is popped from the stack, and now again select the operation. Okay, so this is how it is working. Let me again pop the element. It should pop out 11. 11 is popped from stack. Select the operation. Let me select exit carefully and program terminates. Before this, what I'll do is I'll again here also I'll use /n. So is the basic working clear? That now we have a basic stack functioning. We are inserting at the top and we are removing from the top. Great. Now let's see what this code has some limitations. The limitations, let's understand what is the limitation. In the perspective of array, let me use a new screen. In the perspective of array, this program has certain limitations. Let me create an array. So let's say array limitation is this is the 0th index, 1 index, 2, and 3. Let's say we have top is equal to -1. So the limitation is, let's say I executed push 1, then push 2, then push 3, push 4. No problem. You 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what? What if user again say push 5? There is no space. Here it is problem. So we have to warn in the case when top reaches the highest value, when the top reaches to the value 3, we have to warn the user, or we have to give a message, no longer insert is possible, no longer push is possible, as the stack is full. So let's achieve this case in the program. Let me go to the code blocks. Let's say we are trying to insert. So I'll say if top is equal to 4, that is the highest index that I can point. I'll say printf /n the stack. Okay, the stack is full and you can't insert. Okay, the stack is full. Else, if it's not the case, execute the else part. That is, insert the element inside a stack. Okay, so do the proper alignment. And similarly, as this is the push case, if we start going like pop 1, pop operation second, pop third operation, and pop fourth operation, the effect of this will be, let's say we haven't executed this. After inserting 4 elements, we started executing pop operations. So what will happen is it will remove 4, it will remove 3, it will remove 2, it have removed 1. After this, if you try to remove an element, there is no element inside the stack. There is no element inside the stack. So obviously you have to take care of this message also, that stack is empty. So what you should do is here, similarly like this, top, if top is equal to -1, printf c/n, the stack is empty. And else, if it is not empty, let's remove the element from the stack. Okay. Now let's test this, whether it is working fine or not. Let me compile and run. Push, let's say 11, push 12, push 13, push 14, 15. So 15 is also pushed. Now again try to push and it says stack is full. So it's not, the program won't be able to void the limit now. You have already inserted the highest number of elements inside the stack. Now let's try to pop the elements out. Pop. Sorry, I tried to push. Let's say pop. 15 is popped. 14, 13, 12, 11. Stack is empty. Stack is empty. Stack is empty. Let's push. 11. 11 is pushed. Let's pop. 11 is popped. Let's push. 14. 14 is pushed. Let's push. 15. 15 is pushed. Let's pop. 15 is popped. Let's pop out. 14 is popped. Let's try. So now this program will terminate only if you void this 33. That if I type this 3 and if I press enter, this is the only case in which this program will terminate. So is the code clear? Great. Okay. Now we are doing this everything inside a main method. We are doing this all operations inside main method, like inserting inside a stack and removing from the stack. Everything has been done inside a main method. What if I ask you to develop a function called as push and a pop? So if you have to develop a function, push and a pop, there are a variety of ways. Like somebody may use a pointer, somebody, one person may not use a pointer. So what I'll do is I'll try to write a function without using a pointer, the same push function. I'll try to write without using a pointer. I will strongly recommend that you also you try to develop the functions with the help of pointers and try to use it. Okay. Another thing is one person may make a stack variable as declared as a global variable. Like here, one person may say that I'll create int stack of 5. So automatically this stack variable is a stack member is available to all the functions in the program automatically, right? So what if you don't do like this? Then you have to pass it. And we have already seen how to pass arrays. We have already seen how to pass numbers and how to return these values from the function to the main method, right? So now the basic ground which is required to convert this program from doing everything inside a main method to do inside a function in a function is ready. So you people are aware of now how, what if I ask you to develop a push function? I want you people to develop a push function here and call it, right? So instead of writing here everything, you will take the number, and you will just say push, you will pass number here. So this is my expectation. Okay. And in the pop, instead of doing this whole thing, if you want to remove the element, you will just call the method pop the element out of the method. So this is what I'm expecting. Will it be possible for you to do it? Like instead of doing everything inside a main method, call the functions. How many of you are comfortable with doing this? Okay, great. So this is the first program as in a data structures. Like you have to develop a stack and you will not be doing all the operations inside a main method like we have done. You will be calling push and pop functions. Okay, so this is the first program. Any doubts in stack? Any doubt in stack? Session is open. If you have any doubt, please ask. Samir Desai. Samir, may I know? Okay, Tanay Chagule is also thumbs down. So, guys, please unmute and let me know what is the issue. No doubt, thumbs down. Mic. So there is one question by Atul. What if we pass argument to? Okay, sorry, that was a very old question. So Tanay and can you please tell me whether you are comfortable in developing this or as in a function or you're not comfortable? Tanay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you will it be possible for you to do it?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you be a bit louder?
Sorry. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So I saw the thumbs down symbol from your end. So can you please tell me what is the difficult part? What is the difficulty? So I may try to solve it. If stack is full and we push number, what will happen now? Samir Desai. Samir, I guess you haven't seen the execution of the program. I already showed this all operations. Like, let me just remove these things. Let me run it again. So So this stack is of size 5. So if I keep on doing this, 11 has been inserted, 12 is inserted, 13 is pushed, 14th number is pushed. Now again we want to insert, let's say 15, 15 is pushed. Now the stack has reached to its maximum value. Now if I say I want to push, it will say the stack is full. Is it okay, Samir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so may I know why you also have given me a thumbs down symbol. So what is any other difficulty that you want to ask?
So it is showing the message stack is full. Then again it is asking us to select option. If we select push option and again we insert, then what will happen?
So it doesn't matter how many times I select push. Doesn't matter how many times I select
So,
push. It will always say
so
stack is full.
top 5 values will be considered or the new values.
Where is the value? It is not taking the value, na? Are you looking at the screen? Is the screen
Yes,
visible?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
So if I
Understood.
say push number of, doesn't matter how many times I'm saying this push, the program will not take the number itself. So this is the
Yes, sir.
program which
Yes.
will say, yeah. So any other doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So is it possible for you to convert it into functions rather than doing it everything in main? Okay, no response from. Okay. So let me stop the screen share. Sorry. The simple question that I asked to everyone, I guess maybe it was a miscommunication between Tanay and Samir and me that whether will be able to do it or not. The simple question is, right now this program that we have seen is doing everything inside a main method. What I want is to use function. Will it be possible for you to do it or not? Okay, so I'm saying yes. Great. Okay. Now, a simple question. If I just start this index with 0, what will be the required change in this program? If I'm just starting with instead of starting with -1, this is the start value. If I start the index with the 0, what will be the required change in this program? Any one of you?
Top plus plus should be down to the stack top is equal to number.
Can you tell me the line number in the code blocks?
25th line should be below 26th line.
Okay. Any other change? Who is this?
Top
Jatin,
minus.
Okay. Anything else? So Jatin, the first answer is right. So this is the one of the change that we have to do is
Top
instead of
minus minus.
who is this?
Top
Samir.
family. Sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So the line number 37 should be before line number 36, right? Yes, no, okay. Any other change? So we are going to change two lines. Any other change do you think which is required? Any other change?
line number 32 top is equal to 0.
Yes. So we have to change that line too. So three changes are required if you just start the index with the value 0. So the first thing I'll do is, instead of incrementing the value of top before insertion operation or before push operation, I'll increment the value of the top after inserting. In this case, if the top is pointing to 0, it means the stack is empty. And to remove element, we have to say top minus minus and then say that the element has been popped. Okay. So it have a very different execution style. So it have a very different set of effect on the stack, right? Because actually you are pointing to the same element. Okay, and now doesn't matter. So still the program won't take any more inputs. So see, this is the change. You just change value of one variable and everything changes. Everything changes. So with only one variable value, we have two versions of the program or two logics of the program. If now you can imagine if we start putting up a function. So if I say void push, now this push is not returning anything. So I may pass int top as in a pointer because push is not returning anything, and I may say int array, and this is the stack. Stack itself, array itself is a pointer, so I'm not worried about it. So this might be the one version of the push method who do not return anything. One person may say that I have int push, and you will pass int top as a regular variable, and then int stack array in which you want to perform the operation, and here you may say return top. So you are returning what is the updated value of a top. Okay, so this is, look at here itself we have two versions of push methods. So when I am saying that try to develop this program using push, I am expecting variety of logics from you people, variety of different ways in which this can be implemented. So one may find it even another way, simply just tweaking up with the program, you will come up with the different logics, and the same thing will be implemented. Okay. So now let's move on with the application of a stack. Now, as we have understood what is the stack, let's understand what is the use of a stack. Shall we proceed? What I'm expecting from the assignment, are we really sure what is really expected? Great, great. So let's see what is the application of a stack. So I hope I'm not rushing with the concept. So there is this is the first application that we are encountering. This is not the only application that the stack have. This is not the most of the time or the widely popular application of a stack. Stack is very popular in variety of applications. So as a starter, we are understanding one of it. So there is a concept called as infix, prefix, and postfix. So if I say A plus B, this is the normal notation. Can we reverse a string using the stack? Of course, you can reverse a string using the stack. Any other? So increase stack storage by 1 is the SOAM target to everyone. Guys, still I can take questions. If you have any doubts, you please ask it. So there are a few questions like if stack is full and we push the number, what will happen? That has been already been answered. Increase stack storage by 1. So ultimately you will run out of a memory in the system, and you have to deal with that message that the stack is full. Ultimately you will run out of a memory, and you have to see the message called as stack is full. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Increase storage by, we can reverse. We can reverse the thing. We can undo action. Yes. So paint and everything is using this stack. That these are the applications, right? So A plus B let's say this is the maths expression in the infix form. Okay, so if I have to convert it into postfix form, a b plus, it's postfix version of the same mathematical expression. This is postfix, and then prefix, in which I'll write it as plus ab. Okay, now let's write a mathematical expression. Let's write it like this: a b star c. Let's say this is our expression and we want to convert it into the postfix format. Now, how this postfix, we know that in the mathematical expression, we must execute higher precedence operations first. In this case, in this expression, the highest precedence is to the multiplication. So we must execute, or we must calculate this b into c as in a first operation. Then to this operation, we must add this a. So how to do it? We will say b c star is the first operation that I want, and then I say to this variable, this is the first. Now, how many operands and operators we have? Let's say in the initial expression, this is the operand, this is the operand, and this is the operand, and this is the operation. There are two operations and three operands. So when we want to convert it into the postfix format, this entity together, b, c, and the star, this together, this string represents one operand, and the remaining operand is a, and there is a plus operation. So after optimizing this plus, or after representing this b, c star into as in a postfix format, the actual equation will look like this: a plus b, c star. So this is the first level, right? So this entity, this is one operand, this entire string is one operand, and this a is the second operand, and then we have operator. Now again, we have to apply the postfix format, that is putting operands together and then placing the operator at the end. So if I convert this expression into the postfix format, I'll write a b c multiplication and then plus. Now this will be my postfix expression for the infix format. Now if we just change a bit, a star b plus c, then obviously a b star will be the first operand, and plus c will be the second operand, and a b star c plus will be the end operation. So you just look at the change in output by just simply changing the sequence of multiplication, right? So this is the final result for postfix. Is the concept of prefix and postfix clear? Or shall I repeat? May I do we need to repeat it? If somebody wants me to repeat it, plus, okay, there is an answer by Ashish privately. Okay, correct, Ashish. May I need to repeat it, or shall I proceed? So I'll proceed, correct? Okay, great, okay. Now, why stack is important in this case? If I put an expression like this, a plus b bracket, let's say, then again plus c, and a multiplication operator, and if we say d, then it is divided by, let's say, j, it's some random thing, okay, and then finally again we have, let's say, j plus c, and c is already there, g. Now in this case, you may need to scan this statement multiple times. Like for this expression, we have scanned this expression twice. In the first scan, we have solved the multiplication operation. In the first scan, we solved the multiplication operation, and in the second scan, we converted the first operand and the newly generated operand and the expression into a postfix format. Now, what about this? Like a pretty long statement, and you may need to give multiple passes to the same statement. So what may happen is, in one first pass, one may say that I'll write a b plus because it's a bracket, So it becomes one operand, and then CD star maybe the second operand, and this becomes one operation. Divide by J plus G. Now again in this plus and divide have a higher precedence. So one may say that CD star J divide becomes one thing, and plus G AB plus. So again this is one operand. This all string represents one operand, and this is the last operand. Now we are in the third pass. In the third pass, we have to say the AB plus CD star J divide plus, and I can now write this all thing G, and then finally plus G, then finally plus. So look at this. Let's say first pass, second pass, then this is the third pass, and then finally in the fourth go, I am able to write the final statement. So can we just go through this entire expression for only one time and convert it into the postfix format? That is, you will just read this statement in one go. That is, you will start traveling the statement from left to right, read A, then read plus B. So let's figure out algorithm using which we will read this each character for only one time, and still we will be able to produce the exact same output, that is postfixed expression. So for this, there is application of a stack. So we can do this using the stack. A very simple example. Let's say a very simple expression. Let's say A star B plus C. So when you read A, which is operand, directly output it. I'll say A. Then you are saying there is an operator. So let's push the operator on the stack. So I'm using word push. So here is the application of a stack that we have just implemented, right? So we are inserting a operator on the stack. Then the next is another operand, directly outputted. Now we have a plus operator, which needs to be canned. So we have read the plus operator. In this case, we will compare it with what is inside the stack. Now inside the stack, there is a higher precedent, and the plus is having a lower precedence over the multiplication operator. So what we have to do is, we have to remove this star, put it in the expression, and then push the operator in the stack. So after this operation, the new state of the stack will be, so you have removed multiplication symbol and inserted into the expression, and you have inserted plus on the stack. And the last bit to scan is C. So this is the last entity. Again, it's operand directly outputted, and the expression has ended. So whatever is remaining on the stack, right now there is on the stack, we have only plus symbol which is remaining. You will pop it out and put it at the end of the expression. Now, with the help of a stack, we have converted the infix into the postfix format. So try it with a bit complex example like this. So when there is a higher precedence operator on the stack, and the new operator you are trying to push is having a lower precedence, then we have to remove the higher precedence operator from the stack and put it in the expression, and then insert the lower precedence operator in the stack. And the process shall repeat till all the higher precedence operators are not removed before pushing plus. So try to apply this process on this expression and see whether you end up with the same expression or not. Is the concept clear? Converting infix to postfix. Okay. So it's 1:30. Try this. What we will do is, in the next session, we will write a program to convert an infix into a notation into a postfix notation using the stack algorithm or stack program. Okay. So let's stop here.